Welcome back to another episode of How You Feel and What Is Real. Damn, it's been a minute since
It do feel like a minute. I feel like we missed like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, we back at it though. This is P, Portia, Fenty.
Y'all know who I am. Don't tell me.
Today we gonna discuss, what was the topic?
Black unity that they're afraid of, and
We only gonna do one at a time. Okay, so we gonna do,
so Black unity.
they scared of Black unity.
I'm not in the mood today.
I am. I want to start this off by saying that they scared of Black unity because you could just see it in so much shit that they doing lately. When it comes to the media, when it comes to putting quote unquote black on black crime in your face, or the timing of these like Carmelo Anthony trials and Nolan, the young man that was found dead off the case, Nolan. They really want us to be in a space where we just not unified, and I think that's right now our biggest asset, because the unity in us not throwing the first punch is like everything. And I think they say that Black people can't stick together for shit, but I don't know nobody that's like this. They want us to react like how we did in the 60s and 70s and riot and burn shit down, and it's like, we not that fucking stupid no more. Not that they were stupid, but I think at that point they were enraged. They were just irritated, agitated, and they ultimately really didn't feel like, oh, none of this shit is mine, so
yeah,
fuck it.
Not only that, but I mean, is it really as of late? Is it really as of late? Like, is food stamps making sure that the Black father not in the home, and doing everything that they could to mentally beat down the Black man and make him feel insignificant in his home, and
man,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not as of late.
I was just listening to the Willie Lynch letter. It's 22 minutes long. You should check it out. If anybody hasn't, check that out. It's on Spotify, fucking YouTube, anything, but it's called the Willie Lynch letter, and it was talking about literally how unity was the thing that was keeping Black people together, like just that thought process. And so their thing was to dehumanize or emasculate
the Black man too. If we're talking about just the Black man, we're talking about as a unit, yes, definitely dehumanize us.
No. Sit down and don't get up. I hear y'all all the way down the damn stairs. Sit down, watch the show. It's only gonna be about an hour of recording. You act like y'all can't chill for a hot second. And that shit will be on the thing. I ain't editing none of that shit out. Parenting. I am a full-time father.
Amen.
But unity, goddammit. Them niggas need to be up there unison,
sitting their asses at
the fuck down.
They finna be unified and jump the shit out with you. I'm sick of this nigga.
Try me. But I think that within that like conversation with the Willie Lynch letter,
which my dad told me about that a long time ago, and I just never got around to it.
It's sick the way the nigga was like, and it's crazy to think how diabolical you gotta be for them to name some shit after you. So the hangings up from the trees and shit like that, it's called
lynching, right?
And that came from Willie Lynch, but he was a slave owner like in like the West Indies. But he really, compared breaking Black people to breaking like buck breaking horses.
Yeah.
So like when a horse is wild, you whip it into submission almost. But that's the same thing they were doing with Black people. It's like they would take the strongest, angriest, blackest nigga on the plantation. They would tar and feather him. They would burn him, and they would tie him to two horses, and they would whip the horses until they literally split
Spread
the nigga
apart.
in half.
Yeah. And it's so crazy hearing you say, like, take the biggest person, and because just think about how black people have been taught to deal with bullies, how they've been taught to deal with people trying to get, like, they be like, you pick the biggest motherfucker and you fuck him up, and then you set an example. Pass down.
That's literally a learned conscious. Even with some niggas, when you see like some of these like prison movies, they go to prison and they
Pick
find
the biggest motherfucker.
biggest, angriest, blackest motherfucker in there, the biggest, baddest motherfucker, and they go whoop their ass. But some of these like thought processes were passed down,
Yeah.
and like you, even in that, it was like, and today it still reigns supreme. If you
Yeah.
take the male out of the household and all you have is a very overworked, over emotional woman raising a man, they're going to raise a man to be
Over emotional.
economically weak, emotionally weak, but physically strong. So you really
And looking
gotta
at his
get it-
self-worth as how much he could bring home.
literally. So all he sees is his worth is in his physical strength, but there's
Yeah.
no EQ nowhere in this nigga.
And we still do that because we see what we do when we see kids that's big and tall, and damn, he put him in basketball, put him in football immediately.
Man,
Immediately.
when they had stopped I was watching something, they had stopped a gentleman in the grocery store. He was a big guy. He was like, what sports do you play? He said, I don't like sports. I don't believe in sports. He said, I'm a doctor. And he was like, well, what made you pick that path? He said, literally people basically telling me that I should play sports, and how we always in the hood or in poverty spaces want to give our kids that lottery ticket mentality. Like, you need to make it to the NBA. You need to
Instead
make
of
it to
something
the
that could never
NFL.
be taken from you. You could be like a Dr. Now. Dr. Now, what, 85?
Yeah.
You can't play a fucking sport at 85. But if my brain is sharp and my body still moves, I could still practice medicine at 85.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why not give them something that is more durable, more everlasting, more economically safe? Like,
And I think that's what they scared of when it comes to like us unifying, because every time we did unify, they burned
It
us
was
down,
something, yeah.
or they put us underwater. They always talk about Tulsa, Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Being rich,
Rosewood,
yeah.
Florida, but it had to be probably hundreds of cities that thrived, and even in some spaces like the Gullas in Louisiana and shit like that, where black people learned how to live in swamplands.
yeah.
They literally were living in those unison areas, but some of them areas, white people were just like, I ain't fucking with that. But if
Yeah.
this is like some on land shit, I can see this. You got Tulsa, Oklahoma. They got doctors. They got grocery stores. They got everything.
Damn, I
they
forgot
need.
the name. You saying that just made me think about a TikTok video that I came across where it was like the population is 90% black people. And it's a small city, but it's a thriving city. And then there was another guy who he said he vacations at that place, and it's literally 90% black people, but they're all like doctors, lawyers, like somewhere off in the cut. I wish I could remember.
I'm gonna look it up.
I want to look it up too, because I wish I could remember. But the one thing he said in the video, he's talking about it. He's like, you know, me and my wife, we come down here all the time, and we love it here, and we would love to see more black people here. So, you know, if you like to have a good time and you know how to act, come. And he made it his business to say, if you know how to act, because they're thriving. Very little violence, you know, very little bullshit. Just black people thriving and surviving.
And I think this topic was so like prominent for me because I'm reading a book now called Elephants in the Sky.
But it's like
It's
cranes in the sky.
That's my shit. But the elephants in the sky, all the white people in the world walk into the oceans, the lakes, the rivers, and drown themselves. And they leave it, and it's just left to black people. But in certain spaces, black people thrive. You know, like how corporate, you know, how they've been, you know, they just basically take the blueprint from the white people and keep on thriving.
Yeah.
But in certain spaces, this is Mobile, Alabama, and they got so many different gems in there. And I'm not going to give the book away because I know people probably, you know,
It sounds like it needs to be a movie.
it might be. Most books have it. I just never. I like
Yeah.
books because how descriptive they are.
Yeah.
And they sell in Mobile, Alabama, and they give so many gems. But one of the gems is the first Mardi Gras was in Mobile, Alabama. It wasn't in Louisiana. It was in Mobile, Alabama, 1703, and it came from Haiti. So it was just like a celebration of independence.
Wow.
They commercialized and made it into like
Something just big and fun,
something
yeah.
bigger and fun. But this was just like literally a big celebration for Black people. But they
Wow.
commercialized it and made it into like a celebration. Like now you see white people, you know, emerging or coming off.
I
the
can
streets.
bet that's because they see how much money it brought in from
Literally.
people bringing around, people coming around to bring themselves together to celebrate, and not wanting to completely terminate it, but just to capitalize off it like they do everything else.
Yeah, and this, you know, and
Now we're gonna have that too.
And that's what like upsets me the most is how Black people don't realize their worth. Like the NFL is like 75% Black people.
Yeah.
Why is the most thriving schools PWIs?
Yeah.
Why isn't a Howard, a Hampton, FAMU, Morehouse? Why aren't these the most dominating schools? Because it's put on bigger scales for it to just only power white institutions.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's pissing a lot of these white institutions off. That's why in Ohio, as a high school student, you can't do name, image, and likeness. Name, image, I think it's NIA, there's something like that. So basically they can get paid off of their name, image, and likeness. I can sign a deal with Nike based off of my name. Back in the day, I couldn't do that. Back in the day, jerseys in college didn't have your name back on them. They just had your...
Somebody was just talking about that the other day, saying like, a lot of kids kind of drew back from getting into football because of the injuries and the short span that the football career has compared to basketball. But countered it with a lot of people are able to now, say it again, what's the name of it?
Name, image, and likeness.
Name, image, and likeness. That's more of an opportunity now. There's a lot more boys getting into the NFL, and they're not banking on just the playing money. They're doing all of those things, and then if they get sat down, you still making that money. If they play, they double dipping.
And they can do that. They've been doing that in the NFL and the NBA because it was legal.
Yeah.
But it was illegal to profit off of your name, image, and likeness in college and in high school for the longest. So you got people that are...
That's crazy.
You got people that are traveling the world. Back when LeBron James, if LeBron James could have sold high school jerseys and made a profit off of them, we talking about a nigga that was a star since he was like 15 years old.
Yeah.
And with that kind of like power, it's just they want to take the power out. That's why the movie with Marlon Wayans.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It was so powerful, and
I didn't go see it because I don't know. I just couldn't connect to get in the theater to watch it.
they had so many different like what's the word I'm looking for? Analogies between like
Yeah.
society and how football is ran.
Yeah.
Even if you watch the Colin Kaepernick special where they were like, how do Black people get when you're talking to Black people when they doing the NFL combine, like how do they get what the fuck was examined? So they literally sit up there like a fucking slave block. They checking your mouth, making sure you healthy, making sure you strong, making sure you know all your ankles and joints and shit. That's literally how they did slave blocks.
Yeah.
And in the same breath with that movie with Marlon Wayans, they started to call people that were of great significance in sports spaces the GOAT. Now we all know a goat is one of the biggest sacrificial animals ever.
Oh.
So the movie is called The GOAT. And in that movie, he's a quarterback. But the most secure, I think, safest positions, if you've ever played football, is like offensive lineman and defensive lineman. But you got the special teams players, the receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks, they have the highest injury. You know, they don't last long in most spaces because they get hit the hardest.
That's why my mother didn't let Shaw play.
Because it should be illegal. It's almost like gladiators.
Yeah.
And niggas thinking just because I'm getting paid is different.
And it's not.
It's no Black owners in the NFL. None.
What? I never knew that. You know, I'm not.
It's no Black owners in the NFL. And what they start doing now is they start giving niggas a piece of a piece of a piece of a pie. Of a slice of a piece of a pie. And so it's like niggas thinking they own like 0.0000001% of the Bengals or the Brooklyn Nets.
You know,
And it's like you niggas be, you know, it's just like that minority thing. Like I want to
Yeah.
have this percentage so I can claim that my business
Is
is minority.
something, yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
get these motherfuckers. Oh no, this is minority brand. So that's why they hire a motherfucker to work in the copy room, but he really can run the company. But it's
Yeah.
like he's black, so you gotta have something. Look at some of these executives. Even at like some jobs I've been to, I see 1 or 2 black people in management.
Yeah.
But you can't have an all white man. That's too obvious.
Even in my job, when I look around and I look at the general managers, it was maybe 2 of us, and then 1 got fired. Then I met another black boy. He's still there, black man. So it's me and 2 other black men right now actively. And then once I started getting on like a wider scale, I seen it. But just the region alone is enough to be like, why is it only a speckle of us?
Yeah.
And the state is so huge. Literally a couple of us, and I know all of them. So,
Yeah. The more I learned, like this last month, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, the Willie Lynch letter, 22 minutes long. It's not long. I literally read that on the way to work, or listened to it on the way to work.
okay.
And I'm, just finished Elephants in the Sky, but I did say a affirmation. Please make anything that is toxic to me. Please make anything that is not good for me toxic to me. So certain music started to feel off.
But always say for the greater good of all, and for the, say for the greater good of all, and for the worst of none. Meaning like, just think about the genie. You know how they be like, oh, a genie be like, oh, you got 3 wishes. It's like, I want to be the richest. No, it's like, I want to be the richest man in the world. It's like, you the richest man in the world, but now it's because you the only man in the world. Everybody dead. It killed everybody off. So when you say like, for the greater good of all and with harm to none, that's saying like, that's what you want and you want it fairly and with it harming nobody and only working out for everybody.
For the greater good of all.
And with harm to none.
I like that.
So like when I used to pray over separating myself from such and such, I used to be like, please break our ties and remove him out of my life, but for the greater good of all and with harm to none, because fuck around and get him locked up.
Yeah.
Or he'd pass out and die tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I so strongly mean that I want you to fuck up out of my life, but with no harm to you and only for the betterment of me.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. But yeah, I think, no, that's really good. For the greater good of all. And
With harm to none.
I like that. And within black people, I don't, it's almost giving me chills. Maybe because it's cold as fucking here, but I think that black people don't realize how bad we are sticking together now more than anything by simply not throwing that first punch, because they putting so much shit in our faces to try to make us angry,
But I think we are. I think we realize that we're sticking together now.
Yeah, no.
I think that it could be done. There's always more work to do. It can always be.
Absolutely.
But in my perspective and what I see, I'm happy with us right now.
Yeah.
I'm happy with what I see. And I just said it the other day. I was like, I think I put it on Threads and was like, one of my favorite trends right now on the internet is all the black women calling each other sister. And it's not too much specifically in terms of like to show how we're actually physically sticking together.
Yeah.
But it's just something that I see that just makes me feel good, and it makes me look at all the other little minor ways. Like, I mean, every post. If it's a black woman to another black woman, sister, no, a sister, you gonna see the word sister, and it just feels good. Like, you know what I'm saying? It definitely, it feels good. It's reminding me.
It's we starting to get back to a root issue, because I think they tried so badly. Everything that came out in this form was pure, even rap. Back in the 80s, when people rapped, they talked about broken glass, and it sounds corny, but till you listen to the music, broken glass everywhere, people pissing on the stage, they just don't care. But if you listen to these like lyrics from these older rappers, they talked about some shit.
Yeah.
But when you got motherfuckers like Clive Davis and shit like that, literally like
fucking the program up.
Into the shit to make us start talking about fuck the police, and nothing's wrong with that, but it's almost just basically giving young black boys or to put themselves in the space to throw that first punch, so now I can now I can't chastise you because you are as brutal as I thought you was.
Yeah.
You are as uncivil as I thought you was.
Putting yourself out there in a way that you don't need to, except for waiting for when it really matters. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And you know, and some of these, like, you know, with ICE and things like that, when things are happening to anybody that is not of black descent, they want us to, you know, step in and march with them. You niggas wasn't marching with us.
Yo, that week, I forgot what event it was, but it was something going on, and it was so many white people online saying, like, this is the time we all need to get together. Black people, if y'all protest, we are gonna stand behind you. It was something that Trump had did, like, right after he finally had got elected, and it was like, they was at their wits fucking end. I can't remember what he did. But boy, the internet, every fucking post, black people like me in my house while they outside protesting, because we told y'all. We're minding our fucking business now. We're minding our business.
And that's another form. If it ain't bothering me and mines, y'all can get the fuck on. But when it came to me and mines decades earlier, sometimes years, sometimes months earlier, y'all minded y'all fucking business.
And it's like, it still bothers us and it still affects us, but we're so deep into the trauma, we've learned how to survive through. We already passed that first phase. Y'all in the first phase of getting y'all own kind fucking with y'all. Yeah. Now y'all starting to see it. We in phase 36. We been knowing. This ain't nothing but another fucking day to us. Y'all enjoy.
We have literally survive through grief, survive through
trauma, exploitation, fucking.
And a lot of motherfuckers be wondering why black people can still laugh. Like, how's you niggas even standing, let alone laughing? Like,
stronger than ever.
They don't realize how resilient
they do.
And that's what's bothering them the most. It's like, why are these niggas still here? And the sad part about it is they know that they need us, but they understand, like, I don't like these niggas. But they can't give you a real legit reason why they don't like us. Yeah. Outside of our skin color.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Absolutely.
They hate us because they ain't us.
The same shit.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I don't want to call it a conspiracy theory because for me it rings true. And everything that I researched around it has come back. But the whole idea of them being from Caucasus Mountains and basically being test tube babies.
They talked about that shit through in the book of it's probably in the Ethiopian Bible. That's why you can't buy it.
Boy, that just.
But it's in the book Autobiography of Malcolm X. It's a Moor, or he might have been an Asiatic black man. Don't quote me, but in the book Autobiography of Malcolm X, there was a scientist. He had a head like peanuts.
And they made fun of him. And he went up there and started doing them experiments.
He took 33.333% of the population and took them to a separate part. And he was like, well, I want to see how I can, because in every black gene, there's a dormant brown gene. Right. So what he did was he took those people away and started to basically make some shit that would stick for hundreds of years that would eventually create white people. Right. So when he awoke in that brown gene and he started to make brown babies, and eventually, and that's why white people, they uncivilized. They ain't been here long enough. They like puppies. Yeah. They ain't been here long enough to fucking know what's going on. And so when you talk about what he did is anytime a purebred black baby was born, they would euthanize or kill it. And they would tell the mom and the nurse, like, oh, well, we're just going to send this one off to heaven so he can prepare a space in heaven for you. But if he was born brown, they would nurture with brown. And then eventually you started to get, you got red people, you got brown people first. Then you got, I think 2,000 years later, you got yellow people. No, you got red people after the brown people. And then after the red people, 2,000 years later, you got yellow people. And then after those yellow people, you started to get white folks. Now, when white folks came about, they were uncivilized. They were like almost animalistic.
And then try to put that shit on us.
And so what they did was they realized, like, these people operate like savages. Yeah. Like, literally, crawling, walking on all fours. That's why the Moors literally, Moses had to, when they banished them, I'm getting ahead of myself. They banished them to the mountains. They chained them up, banished them to the mountains, and they lived like
animals.
Neanderthals.
Yeah.
Like, Like, they lived like that. Until Moses came.
Fufu, go get the lion.
They lived like and they lived like that for so long until Moses came and rescued them. Now, take a wild guess and ask yourself, who was the first people to come out those version of those savage animalistic people?
What do you mean, like in terms of just white people?
Yeah.
Of course, white people?
No, like, let me just say, Jews.
Oh, like what? Okay.
What came about? So
Really?
Jewish people, like Moors were, I think, I'm not, this is just me listening to shit on whatever, but in that book, Jewish people were the first people to come about from those people from those mountains where Moses rescued them from. Basically taught them like how to be human. Like, taught them to wash their ass and, to bathe and you don't have to eat meat that's not cooked. Like, all these normal, regular things that we do on a regular day-to-day basis. But the first people to come about were Jews. Now, I'm not an anti-Semitic person, but I always, as of recently, even when you sent me this shit about like, what was it? You sent me some words about like learning new words.
Oh, yeah.
So I started to dissect words with the prefixes and the suffixes. Prefixes and the suffixes. And so when I'm dissecting these words, I'm like, Jewish. Like, but if I'm really a Jew, why don't I just call myself a Jew? There's nobody that's Christian that calls himself Christianish. There's nobody that's Islam that calls himself Islamic-ish, Hinduism-ish, Buddhism-ish. But ish is like
sort of.
Like,
Yeah.
sort of. Not the full version of. It's ish.
Oh, meaning like you came from there, but you ain't all the way human, like
that's not you at your core, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, nobody black. You're not gonna describe yourself as black.
blackish, which makes me think about that shit.
The show. Yeah.
Yeah.
White people ain't gonna describe themselves as Caucasian.
Whitish, yeah.
Whitish. I'm Indianish, but it's of a scent, man. And I really just started to diverge and really like go to the core of these things. And there's so much more shit that I have to read.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad that like, me waking up in these spaces and understanding where this shit comes from. And I really want to do it from a space of understanding like what started this, and like
That bothers me to my core because I feel like there's always going to be 1,001 pieces of information that we just have to like.
Absolutely.
Like I feel like one of the biggest things I look forward to in passing is going to be clarity of this lifetime. Like it's going to be peace, but it's going to be the clarity.
Yeah.
It's going to be knowing like, damn, I was right.
Yeah.
Or wow, I was so fucking wrong. Whatever it is, that's what I look forward to, clarity.
Yeah. Just coming to a better understanding.
Yeah.
And that's what Malcolm X came to in the book, because only white people he was exposed to was Americanized white people, was racist white people, in the 60s and the 70s.
Until he went abroad and met,
traveled to Mecca, and he seen these Islam people of white descent that looked like American white people. They was giving up their clothing for him. It was all kind of shit. Like they basically was like sacrificing for him. And these are like high officials, like people that are up there. And in that religion, traditional Islam, that's what they did. That was their tradition. But NOI is a different, Nation of Islam they believe in different beliefs.
Yeah.
And ultimately, Malcolm X realized that his goal or his vision was the empowerment of all men.
Yeah, not just black men, yeah,
but all men.
And they wasn't going for that.
And that's when he started to
They let him live when he was pushing the fucked up shit.
When he was, fuck you white people, this and that. They was cool with that.
Cause that's what we on.
But it's
We don't need nobody trying to you make us a unity.
But when he started too, same thing with fuck. It was a I don't want to butcher his name, but he was a Black Panther leader. He was in a movie called Judas and the Black Messiah.
I didn't see that.
Out in Chicago. But he wanted to unify all like poor people.
Yeah.
It was a Hispanic organization. It was some like hillbilly white folks, and it was poor black people.
Yeah.
And he ultimately made them realize like, oh no, it ain't just like it ain't a black versus white thing. It's just a us versus them thing. Like they got you poor white people thinking that y'all some better than us. They treat y'all like shit too.
Yeah.
They just make y'all seem like y'all heritage is what's lifting y'all
So
up.
much thicker and
so
culture.
now y'all thinking like, oh, just because I'm poor and white, I'm better than you. No, you still
Poor motherfucker.
You still poor
Yeah.
just like me.
Yeah.
You still don't have no food in your refrigerator and all that other shit, just like me. But they made you feel like you was better because of your race alone. You hungry just like I'm hungry, nigga.
Yeah. You
But-
pulling up, dragging your fucking trailer and beat down Honda 2007, cursing me out in my mansion, talking about you dirty black. Like, nigga, you look dirty actually. You like you could use a meal or two.
And the only thing that's separating them is the fucking skin color. But when these people, they, and it's like black people being unified, they've been done, tried to burn that shit down with the towns and things like that.
Yeah.
But when these black people and these black messiahs came forth and started to unify everybody, oh, we can't have that. That's why they killed Malcolm X. That's why they
they knew he was about to come back and push
the young
that.
man up in Chicago. He was like 21 years old.
Yeah.
But he realized that it ain't a black versus white. This is us versus them. This is
Good
the
versus evil.
99% versus literally.
It's good versus evil.
And this ain't a race thing that they try to make it seem like it is all the time. But they done pumped up niggas' head to feel like, well, if I'm making 10,000 a year, you making 10,000 a year, I'm better than you because I'm white. No,
Yeah.
both of y'all niggas' lives fucked up.
And it's so fucked up because they got us in a space now where it's like we want good versus evil to be the fight, and we want to lead in that, and we want to trust that there's good white people out there that we can invite to the cookout to help us fight the good fight. But because there's been so much fucking detrimental trauma,
Can't even chance it.
I'll take my bad black people
We can't even chance
and
it.
try to change them rather than the good white people and try to unite. Like,
And when I made a status on Facebook, I said, my kids won't be bringing no white people through this household. If she can't use
you brought that fucking white bitch to my house. She said I asked her to come here. She just came.
And if the motherfucker can't use your comb, don't bring him home. And that's just what it is. And some people, and I'm not like abolishing black people. I mean, abolishing white people. What I'm saying is, it's been too many instances where we have invited them to the cookout.
It's just keeping people in their lane. When I go to work, I say hello to all my bosses, my regional director, my district manager, the CEO. Hi. But when they sitting down putting the meetings together, I ain't invited because that's not my place.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's hello, how you doing? Hey, what's up? How was your weekend? Okay.
You only invited to the barbecue for white people when you entertainment.
No, I also feel like the same way that they use us for insight, you have to look for insight. So, yeah, if you think that you ask that to us and you so big on wanting to help you, come on, I want to hear what you have to say because it might be a different point of view that we're not looking at that's going to help us pivot. But we're going to have you come in, we're going to have you share your thoughts, and then
You can leave.
you can leave. Thank you for coming today.
You can leave.
We'll be in touch
And that's
and let us continue.
That's all because it was white people that was reaching out to Malcolm X. Like, how can I join? Because when he left the Nation of Islam, he started his own. And he was like, white people was asking him, like, how can I help? Like,
You can't.
And can I join? And he was like, well, monetary help, send some bread so we can, help these, build up these schools and these hospitals and these things that are for black empowerment. But by all
That's
means,
it.
you cannot join us.
Help how you can.
This is for the niggas.
Yeah, strictly for the niggas. Just for the niggas. Strictly for the
The
niggas.
real niggas. And it's like, you know, I had this talk with a white gentleman, and you know, he was talking. He was like, you know, not all white people are bad, and I said, I don't think so, but I don't have time to be
Trying to decipher.
and be 10 years into some shit with a motherfucker before I realize what type of capabilities that this person has.
Let me tell you a story. I can tell you 2 stories. I can make the first one quick. My mom had a best friend growing up. She was a white girl. My mom had to be about, I think she was maybe 12 or 13, which means that my aunt had to be about 6 or 7. And my mother got chased by KKK with my aunt, and had to run through fucking trees and all kind of shit to get home safely. My mother said when she turned around, because all of them had on the KKK thing except for one little kid. When my mother turned around and looked to see who was chasing her, her white best friend of years was leading the fucking pack. Shit's like a movie. Yes. I'll give you another instance. My aunt grew up for years doing kind of like the big sister program kind of thing, where it was like for the summer she went with a family that adopted her. Like, so she would spend her summers with them. They invited her to family gatherings, all the stuff like that. They were family, best friends. It was a white girl. She known this girl for over 35 years of her life. The girl's father passed away. They literally purposely avoid my aunt, avoid contacting her, avoid responding to her, do not invite her to the funeral. Because you're good enough for us to say we helped this little black girl all these years and we did something. We gave back, we helped the little black girl.
Yeah.
But when it came down to a personal space where you had to face your other family members, that black girl was not good enough to be there.
You ever seen that?
Yeah, of course. I remember, and that lady died of a broken heart. That shit fucked me up. That shit fucked
After
me
you didn't care
up.
for this lady and her child for literally 2 generations.
But that don't surprise me. These are the same type of people that, if we animals and we don't have feelings and we can't feel and we all of this, why would you put an animal on my titty? You can't breastfeed, so you gonna make me breastfeed your baby. I'm an animal though. I'm a savage animal. Why would you even try? I wouldn't.
Projecting.
You know what I'm saying? It's definitely projected.
That's why
It's
they
definitely
call us
projecting.
Animals. That's white people don't realize that their hair is fur. That's why they.
Because I don't give a fuck who it is. Black, white, Chinese. If my baby can't drink that, bitch, I'll be in there soaking rice and making rice milk.
Yeah.
My baby ain't going on nobody else titty. That's just it. But to think somebody is an animal and disgusting and this and that, and so
Crazy.
they've known for years what we do when we band together. They've seen that's a fight that it's never been new. It's always been maintained
That's why they have
and changed.
That's why they have the divide and conquer. That's why I had to get that comparative thought process out my mind. The Michael Jordan versus the LeBron theory, the Chris Brown versus the Michael Jackson theories, the light skin versus the dark skin theory.
That one gonna tear us down to the ground every time.
And it's like so many people, and even my mom's mom, she didn't like me or my sister because she thought we were uppity because we were fair skinned, we were light skinned kids. So she treated the dark skinned grandkids better than she treated the light skinned grandkids.
And immediately what I thought about was what she did was not right. But it sounds like to me, if you're thinking about, you know how they say, we can't always forgive people for how they act, but you have to try to give them a little bit of grace because of what they know.
Tried it to a head, not a heart.
To me, what it sounds like is she operated through trauma. And in her trauma, they mistreated black kids so badly that it's almost first nature to overly protect the darker ones and outwardly project negativity to the lighter ones, because it's like, even though we were supposed to be unified, there's always going to be that group of niggas who enjoy, just like in Django. Boss, they come, boss. Who's these niggas, boss? It's always going to be the people that take to that and thrive on that instead of trying to band together and use that to help their people. But that may have been her responding in trauma and not really meaning, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah.
That make 100% true. It used to make me feel a kind of way, but as I got older, I realized I was an adult when I seen the people that was of significant value in them spaces, like grandmothers, parents, things like that. When I see
Yeah.
these people as people, and realize
Ooh.
that they were just processing things through their own trauma. Like, that's why I give my mother so much grace, because my mother was a foster kid.
Not only that, but thinking that these people are superheroes and realizing they're just
They are people.
kids
And I
putting on their
literally
best
had this-
adult face.
I had this talk with my daughter, my most spoiled kid. I said, you act the way you act towards me because you see me as Superman. You don't never see me cry. You don't never see me come in here and complain about how bad how hot I was at work, or me. You don't realize that I leave out at 11 o'clock at night and I come back at 3 o'clock in the afternoon the next day after working 15 hours in the heat, rain, cold,
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't, but you don't see me you see me as a parent, not a person.
Yeah.
And so that's the difference. As I get older and the more emotionally intelligent I get, I understand that,
We all just
brother,
people.
it's not you. Like, literally in the club with a nigga and he stepped on my shoes.
I remember this.
The way he processed it was like, oh, we have to fight. I said, listen, nigga, if you think I'm about to rush you for some $90 pair of sneakers, you out your mind.
Yeah.
We chopped it up. We talked about it. I made a friend that night.
Yeah.
And after all that shit was said and done, I bought him a drink. We laughed. We kicked it for a second. He went on about his business.
Yeah.
And I hope that changed even a slither of his mind in how he looked at other black men.
Yeah.
He just automatically assumed this is a C murder situation.
Yeah.
No, I got
Because that's how niggas act.
I got bread. But even
Yeah.
outside of having bread, this shit is material.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It ain't never worth
I'm not
it.
about to punch another black man, no man, for that fucking matter, for some materialistic shit. I'm not a consumer anymore.
Yeah, and it's just a mindset that I feel like we've been traumatically fucking grown into. And like you said, the older we get, we know we have to give our people grace, because our spirits are just children that learn through life.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, the spirit of my 7-year-old daughter who knows how to tie her shoes and cook an egg sandwich and understands personal space and understands when I'm feeling a type of way or when somebody else is feeling a type of way, and when you've done something wrong. That's the same thing as my baby that was 2 months. You just experienced.
Yeah.
So we're all just kids.
Yeah.
Putting on our best adult faces.
Yeah.
Experiencing life for the first time.
Yeah.
Everything is new to them. Every day is new. This is her first time having a adult child. This is the first time having grandkids. It's the first time having an adult child and 15-year-old grandkids. It's like every day is a first day, just like it is for us. It just never stops being first for them.
We learn as we, and that's why I literally, man, I give people so much grace, black people especially.
Yeah.
Like, it was something. It was like they had said something, and it was definitely like geared towards black people being like the aggressors in the situation. And they was like, they said some shit.
Ooh, that just scared me. Does that have to be so fucking
Boy,
obnoxious?
I sleep black up air. It need to be just like.
That's obnoxious.
And it was geared towards black people being aggressors, and they was like, well, we can't blame white people on this one. Yes, we can. Yes.
Yeah, we can. They taught us to be aggressive.
Yeah. And once you
Everything is learned behavior.
once you start to dissect this shit at its core, it's like
Everything is learned behavior.
learning that the unlearning is like 10 times more important than the learning.
And
Why
harder.
am I like this? And literally, that shadow work, learning to, like, this Elephants in the Sky book is probably going to go down as one of my top 5 favorite books. And you're talking about a nigga that read a couple of books a month sometimes.
Yeah.
At least one book a month. But
I said I wanted to do a book club too. I never had a book club, but I feel like that'll encourage me more to read.
Yeah.
'Cause I haven't been reading it, so like.
I'm just thankful for all the free time I have at my job. Like, I live by myself doing, like, I drive and I deliver, but I've done these spots so many times, and I'm in the middle of the night twice out the week, so I got 30, 40 hours a week where I could just listen,
What?
or I could just think, or
That's one of the main reasons why I hate my job. I feel like I have no time.
Yeah.
I wake up and I wash my ass, brush my teeth, get my clothes on, and I go out the door.
you consistently around people, you talking to people.
All fucking day
All fucking
long.
day.
It's like when I get through the door, I don't want to talk no more. And I feel bad because, like, I don't want to give my family that part of me. But it's like, that's just That's just where
That's
I'd be
what's
at.
left.
Because I just feel like all my time
And
just go to
you're
work.
eventually going to put yourself in a space to where you can not give them what's left, to where that's going to be.
But that's a conscious effort. Like when I go home, I make it a like I'll sit down with Nova. She's like, "Mommy, can we color? Can we do this?" And even though I be beat down, I learned how to be like, "Okay, Nova, we'll color for 10 minutes together. If that's the activity you want to do. All right, after that, can we play a game? Sure, but we'll play one round of the game.
Yeah.
And then after that, Mommy's been up since the crack of dawn. This is the first time I've sat down and had time to myself. I need 20 minutes to myself."
And that's me, even talking to my kids when it comes to like explaining certain things and how I feel.
Yeah.
It's like yesterday, I constantly got up, took my kids bowling, and we went to Steak and Shake. And then today we went to the movies to see the Michael Jackson because my nephew loved Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So, but this afternoon, I'm gonna kick it with my lady. We gonna go and kick it, have some food, kick it. But more than anything, still giving them time,
Yeah.
like individual time with just me.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I think it's like a phase that they go through between 10 and 13 where they start to smell themselves. They become way less understanding. Because they just like...
They're seeing the world differently, and they're learning how to appreciate themselves and look at themselves as individuals, and they need to find the balance in remembering other people exist.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black people in unity. This was a good episode.
It was. It wasn't my favorite, but it was good. I feel like today we usually we talk about a topic and it's like something that we both be like, all right. This time it's like, no matter what we talk about, I always feel like it's going to be a good conversation. But my headspace is just so different this week.
Yeah.
It's just so different this week.
And I think being able to expand on topics that you don't...
Not passionate about is good.
There's a lot about
Yeah.
you. Because how well can you just think? Like, and that's knowledge. And that's why I like talking to you, because I know you're a knowledgeable person.
Yeah.
You're not smart, but you're knowledgeable. Oh my God. No, I'm fucking with you.
It was going good.
Intelligence is the application. No, not intelligence is the application of you being smart.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I should be saving this. I know that I should be doing these
That's
things.
knowledgeable, but doing it is being smart.
That's intelligence.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm putting this shit into work. Like, I know how to save. I know how to balance a checkbook.
But
I
you're
know
doing
what
it.
I should be doing. That's being smart. That's being knowledgeable. I know what's going on. In the fucking word, no. I know what I should be doing.
Yeah.
And it should be legible.
Excuse me.
But I'm not intelligence. Intelligence. This is intel. This is information that I'm actually using, that I'm putting in my actual real life. And that's the difference.
I like that.
So that's how I was,
I like
when I
that.
get to breaking down words but
It's been a while since I looked into the dictionary when we started the little challenge of words, and I haven't done it. But
I just do it unconsciously sometimes. Like words that I've been using.
Send
for
them to me
years.
sometimes.
Like when I looked up "sing" earlier today, and I'm gonna share it with y'all. When somebody asks, what do black men want? I said, I just want to be seen. But I took it back for a minute and I said, well, what is seen? Seen is the past particle of a verb see, primarily used with auxiliary verbs like have, has, or had to form perfect tenses. Describes perceiving something with the eyes, experiencing an event, or mentally understanding a concept. So when you say you want to be seen, I want to be perceived with the eyes of you experiencing an event and you mentally understanding me as a concept. So that's what
That's valid.
When I said I want to ask, what do black men want to be? I said I want to be seen.
That's valid.
I want to be more than just. I am
acknowledged.
More, yes, I want to be seen. I don't want to be acknowledged as a nigga that walk into the bar and pay for everybody. I want to be seen. When people see me, they see a good father. They see a
hard worker.
They see a hard worker. They see somebody that's empathetic. They see somebody that's intelligent. They see these things. So I want to be seen. In those spaces, do I not want to be anything other than seen? I want to be
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. That's not wrong.
I don't want to be appreciated because that's appreciated.
You ain't wrong,
I want to be
friend.
seen of gratitude. I want you to be thankful. Just like I'm thankful for the space and energy that you provide for me.
Yeah.
So, that's it.
Amen. That was good.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of How You Feeling What
What is real?
This topic was about unity amongst black people. And it can come as something as simple as you giving another black person a compliment. You helping somebody, with their groceries to the thing.
Or something as large as keeping your family thoroughbred. I hate to say it like that, but like keeping it in the community and making sure you giving back to your community. Everything you do is black owned. Everything you strive for is to give back to the black community. It's building your people up. And you can do that without hate. That's my biggest thing that I want people to take away from what we say. Because I know we get passionate and take a different type of ear for people to understand us when we talk away, because it's easy for people to pick and be like, well, why? No.
Say that one thing you said again to end the thing.
For the greater good of all and with harm to none.
For the greater good of all and with harm to none.
I want black people to be unified, strictly unified in everything that we do. Love, financial, economical, only for right now. And I want that to be for the greater good of all, but with harm to none.
I like that. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all next week. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, leave comments. Any topics that y'all want to hear about in the comments. Like I said, we up and running on TikTok, Instagram. You can at How You Feeling What Is Real on all social media platforms. Portia Fenty on all social media platforms. Papa Luke _7 on all social media platforms. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and thank you for giving us a bit of time of your day. Thank you.
Bye.